Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the big show, the NFL Week 5 kickoff show going on here. We are the Big 3 DFS. I am Al Walsh. Find me on Twitter at 14A.Walsh. As always, joined by the money man, the Adam Wagner, the Wagner Wire guy. What up?
How you doing, Al? What's up? How's Jerry's going?
Doing fantastic. Got it up nice and early this morning. Got the research going. Had the research going anyway, but you got to make sure. We got lots of injury news we got to break down, so gotta get on it. How you doing over there in the ATX after your big W over Oklahoma yesterday?
Oh, we're doing good, man. The brisket is still brewing, man. Everybody was up till wee hours of the morning this morning, eating up, finishing the kegs, whatnot. Boomer Sooner went down, and who saw that coming? I did, man. I was prepared. I had the morgue prepped for flowers and everything. It was going to be a balmy day in Austin, Texas. But who'd have thought, man? We were good. I got to tell you today, though, I wish I could leave Austin, Texas, and join you up in Jersey, man. I'd like to get to that East Rutherford Stadium and watch the Giants whip on San Francisco.
Yeah, that's right. You know what's pretty cool? Our buddy Kevin Epstein, the fantasy football geek, DraftKings actually invited him to their suite tonight for the Giants game. So he'll be there rocking out with all the DK players. So that's a pretty cool event they got going on.
Yeah,
I for certain did not see Oklahoma losing to Texas. Baker Mayfield was a huge play for a lot of people yesterday in the college DFS game. It didn't work out, but that's good because I didn't have him, so I didn't really care. Now,
that sprint, that it looked like it was going to be a sprint option, right? And the defensive end, what's your number one? What's the number one rule on the option as a defensive end? Your number one assignment is to take the quarterback, right? And then outside linebacker. He tried to make a play. He's a great player. He tried to make an All-American play and cover both at the same time, but it ended up being a draw. He tried to keep outside containment, which is what he was supposed to do. He didn't know that it was going to be a draw at the time. It was just set up as an option, and sure as shit, fucking right up the middle, man. Cut back, a few missed tackles, and wow, Texas had a nice 80-yard gain to seal the deal. Well, to help.
Now, I don't want to waste any more time in introducing Chris Sweet, also on the program. What up, guy? But I want to come back to this Texas thing real quick. How's it going, Chris?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little hungover. Yeah, pretty good. I'm actually celebrating the 28-point loss to Ohio State because that's a lot better than Edsel's done this year in any other game. So, big moral victory for the Terps yesterday. Way to not get completely hammered the whole time like the rest of the season.
Right.
Nice to see you score a few points in the Big Ten. But back to Texas, please.
According to Kenny Wagner, my father, Maryland was supposed to beat Ohio State by 30. So okay. I don't know.
It's a small victory. Now let me ask you something, because
his heart, not his head. That's for sure.
Now I know that the Texas-Oklahoma game is always played in Dallas at the Texas State Fair. So I know a lot of people obviously go to that, but is there still enough people back on the homeland in Austin to get a good enough party going?
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's watch parties everywhere, man. All over the place. The downtown has one. On campus has one. People tailgate on Dean Keaton and, in San Jack, San Jacinto and everything. People do a lot down here in Austin. Christ, you still go to the HEBs and it's still burnt orange all over the place, man. It's a pretty cool environment. I was actually out on a bike ride since we played early. It got the game got done early.
Right.
Went for a ride after the game. You just smell nothing but brisket as you're taking a ride for about 10 miles, man, all up and down the strip.
There's nothing like a good bike ride with brisket in your face the entire time.
So what do you do?
Yeah. It's still.
Do they only do the brisket if they win?
What's that?
Do they only do the brisket if they win?
No, but it just makes it sweeter.
Briskets, win or lose.
Yeah, everyone's a winner.
Sweeter. It makes the beer colder too, so
Also, Nicky Rodriguez.
I'll tell you what, man, you guys got to come down here. We'll go down to Austin Beer Works, man. They're a great beer facility down here.
Very good.
Awesome, man. It's a great time, dude. We'll take you on tour.
All right, Nicky Rodriguez finally joining us. Had the technical difficulties down there in the bottom of the map. What up, kid? Tough. You guys lost to FSU last night, right?
Yeah, tough loss, but great game overall.
All right.
A lot closer than I thought.
What's the overhead blimps reading, Nick? Are they calling for the coach still?
Yeah, I see a couple banners flying next week again.
Man,
Fire Golden.
How's Luther Campbell feeling today?
What was that?
How's Luther Campbell feeling today, Uncle Luke?
They got some Oklahomas probably going today.
Oh, right, day after. I like it.
No days off with this guy.
All right, let's get into the NFL. So, Nick, that's what we are, the NFL show. Couple injuries. I believe Julio Jones will be in tonight or today.
He will. He is confirmed.
All right. Another Julius. Well, not Julio, but Julius Thomas. He'll be making his season debut today against the Buccaneers. Decent source of production there with Peyton Manning. It'll be interesting to see how it works out with Blake Bortles. Alshon Jeffrey's out today, so I'll look out for Marquez Wilson. As mentioned, Julio already. I guess those are the main ones. Devontae Adams is out as well. In terms of skill positions, I think that'll do it. Fred Jackson's going to play in this one, so I liked Rawls as a play. We'll get to all these game by game breakdown. Sammy Watkins is also out for this one. I think Stevie Johnson too out for the Chargers. So
Stevie.
These should be the ones that affect your lineups the most. I was just going down the injury report trying to see the relevant ones like Brian Beluga. That's important. I think he's in there. So.
He's a nice sleeper, man.
Yeah. Get the offensive lineman in there for some touchdowns. All right, let's go to the game-by-game breakdown as we do every Sunday. I guess if we're looking at the main source of point production, we got to start it with the New Orleans Saints at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles jumped all the way up to 6-point favorites in this one. Total of 50 on the game. Wags, kick it off for us. What do you like coming from this game?
For the Philadelphia Eagles?
Or the Saints.
Or the Aints? Or the Aints? I don't know. Everybody's been hot or been dismissing Cooks. He's had an ankle tweak. It's been a rough start for this guy, man. But you got to remember, when this guy's healthy, he's one of the fastest guys on the field. I look for Breeze's arm to be healthy. He still doesn't have the full extension. But that Eagles defense has been exposed. They're suspect. Look for Maxwell to get burned a couple of times. If it's not Brandon Cooks, it's going to be Colston actually getting some space and getting some time. Ingram has been a huge outlet for Breeze as he's been dumping it off. Majority of the offense has been going through Ingram. Look for him to have a big day as well.
All right, throw it around, Nikki. Anybody you got here?
I'm looking at Sam Bradford here. I like his matchup against the Saints. And a wild card play here is C.J. Spiller.
Ooh, I like that.
I think the Saints are going to be playing from behind, so C.J. Spiller is going to get a lot of opportunities in that backfield.
He's on my radar. Not sure I could, afford to get him in any lineups. I guess maybe in like a millionaire maker or something with a long shot.
I need to see one more week. You know what I mean?
You can afford him. It's just if you want him.
For sure. Oh, I get the pick. It's a homer, and the people that had him last week won.
Yes.
So it's a dynamite pick, brother. I need, how I am, man. I'm about certainty, man. I like to go with some safe play a little bit. I guess that's why I never win the million, because but I consistently win the $5, $10 chump change shit.
And you don't have your ownership percentages. Too shit.
Yeah,
Sweet. There's some good value here as well in the game. Anybody you got?
Yeah, I got a wide receiver on each side of the ball I really like for some value. If you read my column, I talked about both of them. Nelson Aguilar, he started to show a little bit last week. Everyone's been waiting for that week where he just really shows what everyone expected out of him, why they drafted him so high. This would be a good opportunity for him to get loose on a couple of deep balls. And I do like Sam Bradford to have a pretty big day. Then on the other side of the ball, just absolute $3,000 on DraftKings, absolute value, Willie Snead. He's already pretty much becoming the number one there. maybe this will be the week Brandon Cooks finally gets more targets.
He's been getting the targets, Snead, man. I didn't want to steal your Snead play.
Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, Snead is just he's cap relief so much. You can get the 3 big guys in your lineup. Like for instance, in my one big lineup, I'm gonna have the big boys: Le'Veon Bell, Jamal Charles, and maybe Julio. I'll let you guys talk me into that later. Either Julio or Odell Beckham. And that's going to happen because of Willie Snead.
Oof.
Yep. Indeed. Love the Snead play. Definitely going to have him in some lineups today. Love the Sam Bradford to Jordan Matthews combination. Matthews kind of been held down a little bit of late. 3 catches against Washington last week for 50 yards. But, it's time for Matthews to, get back to the end zone. I know he got that garbage time touchdown against Dallas, but that's it in terms of hitting the end zone. Philly's been showing that they can spread the ball out. But, against the very lesser opponent, I think we can finally see Jordan Matthews have that breakout game that he had in, week 1 against Atlanta. I like that. Darren Sproles, not a bad play. I look for them to be up, possibly a couple targets for him in this one. It is a revenge game. Saints,
got a little bad taste in his mouth. You think he wants to give it back to the Saints a little bit?
I would agree.
Yeah, man.
If Bradford struggles here today, I think it could be Sanchez time. I've been waiting for Sanchez. I think Sanchez is a pretty damn good quarterback when he's put in the right opportunity in the right position.
Yeah, I agree too, man. In the right system, he's a good quarterback, dude.
Yeah. I mean, look, the thing with Bradford is we all know that he could go down at any minute with the knee injury. We know he's had problems with the ACL before, and now that he's just been struggling, and so this team is struggling too. I think if they get off to a rocky start today, it could be Sanchez time. But that's if. Now, if they struggle against, that's part of my reasoning. If they struggle against the Saints, well, it should be time for a damn change.
Right.
All right.
And Chris Kelly's going to have Chip Kelly rather. Chris Kelly. Chip Kelly's going to have a lot more answers to. To talk about rather than just if DeMarco Murray's going to get the ball or not.
Yeah, we're staying away from the run game, right?
Right, for sure.
Shout. It's time for Murray to break out one of these days too.
But he's not in that. He doesn't fit. He does not fit in that system, man.
Give my old boy Ryan Matthews the ball. He's the right back for that system.
It's what I was saying a couple of weeks ago. Ryan Matthews and Sproles are better moving horizontally and getting started. DeMarco Murray
Chargers East, man.
That's what I'm right. Exactly, man.
All right, another game that I like here in fantasy goodness. Should be an ass kicker, but I do like fantasy goodness. Kansas City is hosting the Bears. Chiefs 9-point favorites. Over under here at 44.5. Sweet, we'll start with you on this go round. Anybody elite plays from this game?
The elite play is Jamal Charles. I've got him as my number 1 running back on the week, even above Le'Veon Bell, who's got a ridiculous matchup. He's going to see a lot of receptions, I believe, out of the backfield. He's going to get all the opportunity to have a really big day. And also, I kind of like Jeremy Maclin in this game as well.
Yes.
Not that you really want to stack the Chiefs or anything, but Macklin's he's starting to come on. They're starting to realize, hey, you know what? We have a real wide receiver that we can actually get the ball to.
He can actually catch it.
Right. Yeah. They don't have like Eddie Kennison and like I don't know. I'm trying to think of some of the other terrible wide receivers the Chiefs have had over the years.
That's a great point, man. I had Macklin in my lineup, for a hot minute, and I was just like, man, am I crazy? Do I really have this guy in my lineup? I replaced him, but I might make another lineup based off of that Le'Veon Bell, Jamal Charles pick, man. That could be a pretty decent matchup. That and Snead, you better recognize.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier in the week. I'm glad to see that we're all sticking to our guns here with this one. I absolutely have Charles in the majority of my lineups with the 9-point spread. I think this sets up well for him to, just absolutely go off in this one. I know, the Bears' run D is pretty good. They held Latavius Murray in check last week, but I don't see it this week. They finally got their first win of the season. Probably partied their ass off into midnight. Gonna be a rough one for them today. Wags, I know you're talking about Macklin. Anybody else you like in this one?
Well, to go, who's going to give him the ball? It's got to be Alex Smith. Alex Smith is a cheap play. I do see a lot of a lot of similarities and characteristics in the style of play and mannerisms between Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is obviously an elite quarterback, but given the right opportunities and the right matchup, Alex Smith has the same type of style. I think he can cut and carve this Bears defense up. That's been proven that they're not as, the Bears stalwarts that we know them to be. I just think that, given the matchups that Jamal Charles is going to have with some screen plays and some dump-offs, Macklin stretching the field out vertically, it's just going to set up for another tight end named Kelsey, and it's just going to be lights out. So Alex Smith at a cheap play is a great value pick to go with that tandem for the card. Dare we say Chiefs stack in this one.
I could get on board with that. Also, I love the Chiefs' defense today. Obviously, anytime you're going against the turnover machine, that is Jay Cutler. This could be very profitable. I hope they don't get too many defensive touchdowns today because
they get off the ball quick.
Charles could get a lot more.
The Chiefs get off the ball quick too, man. You make a great point about their defense. They're a sack team, dude. They can just get at you.
Yeah, this could get quite ugly. However, there are some plays on the Chicago side of the ball. I think Matt Forte is, he'd be a great play. Chiefs actually give up the most catches to the running back position thus far through 4 weeks. So definitely take a look at Forte. It's a bit pricey there, 7,100. So if you're struggling, I think there's a couple other better plays at running back we can go to. But I do like Forte with the on DraftKings for the 1 point for the PPR. Cutler's sneaky, perhaps garbage time can get a couple touchdowns, but I think he's going to have a couple turnovers today. And Marquez Wilson, just with the news that Alshon Jeffrey's out, he can definitely be in line for some catches as well in garbage time. Don't have a price on him.
What about that tight end there, Al? What about that tight end?
Yeah, that's right. So Marquez Wilson, 3,400 on DraftKings. And also remember, KC ranked 32nd in the league and giving up points to the wide receiver position.
Maybe Eddie Royal also. He's played in
a Royale with cheese, please.
That's right. He's played a lot of games in Kansas City in his career.
And then Martellus Bennett, as we were mentioning earlier, definitely take a look at him as well. Not tops on my board, but garbage time. Take a look out for him. All right, next game, Nicky got disconnected, so his input cannot be given on this one. We'll get to him in a minute. Other game, I think St. Louis Green Bay is interesting to me. St. Louis is a 9-point underdog at Lambeau today. Over/under set right now 45.5. I'll kick it off in the 1 o'clock only lineups. I got Aaron Rodgers, Randall Cobb combo. It's a 50-50 the 1 o'clock only combo or contest that I'm playing today. So, I think if I have Rodgers and Cobb for a 50-50, if I don't do well here, I think there's something wrong with my luck in general this week. So, we'll have that. Wags, who do you like in this game?
Well, I mean, Tavon Austin has been showing some great numbers of the past couple of weeks. I don't know how well he'll be able to do against the Green Bay Packers. I've been saying it for a few weeks now. I think the Green Bay Packers defense is much improved. I just think that you can catch Clay Matthews in position sometimes being undisciplined. And when that happens, look for a guy like Tavon Austin who's got the wheels to turn it on at any given time, on any given Sunday. Nice little movie there. I just look for this guy to be able to to stretch the Packers defense and exploit them and find where they're vulnerable at. And also, I mean, Gurley got busy last week, so look for this guy to constantly keep it up. I'd like to say Nick Foles, but like you said, man, the Packers defense has been one of the best, most improved defenses this year, and I'd like to see fucking Napoleon Dynamite do something, because he was. I had him, and I did not keep him this year in fantasy football just because I thought it just wasn't a good return on investment.
Green Bay's defense has actually been pretty decent against the run this season. Now I know week 1, Matt Forte had a tremendous game. That's fine. Week 2, they did shut down Marshawn Lynch pretty good.
Yeah.
Week 3, I know Jamal Charles, he did have the 3 touchdowns, but he only had 49 yards rushing. He did have 5 catches in that game as well. And
but Marshawn Lynch that's the game he got hurt, right?
I don't know. I don't know that for certain. I can't quote. Cannot quote.
I cannot quote either. That's why I'm.
But yeah, I mean, Hyde really didn't get off to a good start, or good start or finish last week. So Green Bay has been pretty good there. I'm feeling a lot of people are going to be on Gurley today, and for good reason for what he did last week. But he's just a guy that I'm fading all over lineups today. I'm not going to have. I just think St. Louis is going to be down in this one, and it's not going to be much opportunity for Gurley to get going. I think Green Bay defense could be good here. Not my top play, but if they do have a big lead on St. Louis, then I can see Nick Foles making some mistakes.
Big play potential too. You know what I mean? Like when you see Green Bay, I mean, they might get 3 sacks or whatever, but one of those sacks could be a return fumble.
Yes.
So that's the thing with Green Bay. You don't really see too many picks with it, but I mean, you see like big play potential, stripping the ball and everything. They're very good at that.
True. All right. We all good on that game?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Also, James Jones, too, for Green Bay. Nobody mentioned him.
James Jones!
He's also a good play there as well. Watch, he'll be the one that goes off. James Jones. Don't forget about him.
He caught a touchdown in every game.
All right, now this game, the next game that we'll get to, it's not exactly the sexiest offensive matchup on the board, but it should be a close game, which means everybody is in play for 60 minutes here. We are talking about the Seattle Seahawks at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals 3-point favorites. Over-under is at 43.5. Wags, you kicked off the last one, right?
Yes, I did. I'll take this one if you want.
All right, let's go.
Go for it.
I mean, like you mentioned, this is going to be a brutal game for both teams. Both defenses have been looking pretty stout and legit. More so Seattle's, obviously. But it's going to be a true test for Andy Dalton. He's actually going to have to be as tough as Dalton in Roadhouse. So
great movie, by the way.
Awesome movie, man. So you don't want to do this, kid, especially when Sam Elliott grabs Sam Houston. When Sam Elliott grabs Dalton's hand, man, he's just like, I don't think so, amigo. You know what I mean? Or whatever he says. That's just a great part, man. We don't want to go down this road, man. But anyways, dude, he's gonna have to be tough as nails to deal with this. You saw what Bobby Wagner can do. This inside linebacker is just a prototype hybrid of in Any Given Sunday, that movie where the announcer says a new breed. Well, this guy, man, this guy is the next Ray Lewis. He is a faster upgrade of Ray Lewis. I've never seen a linebacker be able to take control of the game. He fits well with this system, and it's going to be a true test for Andy Dalton to get busy. I don't see the run game of the Bengals to be that productive as we've seen in the past few weeks. They've been a very well-balanced team. I look for Andy Dalton to be down, so they will have to pass a lot more. Look for A.J. Green to have kind of a shutdown day, which could open it up for Mohamed Sanu.
All right. Sweet, you got anybody here?
If I had to take someone from this game, it'd probably be Tyler Eifert, but overall, I don't know. I mean, Andy Dalton is not the best damn cooler in the business. I can tell you that right now.
I don't think so, man.
But I don't know. This is I think this is a stay away from a gambling perspective, and it's a stay away from fantasy for me.
Well, one guy, that we definitely got to take a look at. Cincinnati's run defense is not that great. So Thomas Rawls is the guy that I'm definitely looking at today. 3,800. Fred Jackson, he said he's going to play, but he's pretty gimpy with the ankle. But regardless, Rawls has been getting the second touches anyway, right after Marshawn Lynch. So I like Rawls just in the fact that I don't think Fred Jackson's really going to eat into his carries today. I think this is a good source of production at the running back position. And at 3,800, yeah, he'll pretty much be the flex in every single one of my lineups today. So
especially for a flex, man. That's a great play for a flex.
I dig.
Yes, it is.
Now Rawls, I want to take a look at his receptions because they're not tremendous. Yeah, he's only got 1 catch on the season.
I tell you, got to stay away from, man, is Jimmy Graham. Just don't spend the money on him,
please.
Don't.
Yeah, very expensive. You know who else? Like, I mean, I know I was just talking about, Cincinnati's porous run D, but I mean, Cincinnati's. I mean, all right. So let's say Rawls doesn't go off. I think Cincinnati's defense could be a sneaky play in this one.
Yeah.
Now I know Seattle's
They've been
defense
playing
has
some
4,000.
stout D, dude. They've been playing some stout D.
It's more or less the Seattle offensive line, and again, I know that goes off of Rawls. But if you look at Russell Wilson back there in the pocket this year, he's running all over the place. And, he looks like friggin' Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl, but not running forward up in it, just around the pocket. He woo, 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 woo. So, I don't know.
Game, man. Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, man.
I love Super
Sorry,
Tecmo Bowl.
Okay, we got to go here.
I would play it right now.
We got to go here. Who was your teams that you guys used?
I always use the Eagles, Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, right on.
What about you, Wags?
Oh, come on, boy.
Lawrence Taylor blocking extra points.
Giants, man.
I got to look at this a little off to the left. You might not expect. I always use the Houston Oilers with Warren Moon.
They're
phenomenal. They had a dynamite.
Curtis Duncan, Drew Hill, and Haywood Jeffires.
They had the only three wide receiver offense.
Packages. Yeah.
We might even have a little time here before the 1 o'clocks get kicked off.
I was gonna say we could do our show breaking down Tecmo Bowl if you guys want to be up for that.
I have it downloaded on my PS3. I just gotta. Yeah, I don't have PS4 yet. I know. Screw me.
Yeah,
right?
but you got like an emulator on your PS3?
No, but there's an option where you could download it. I downloaded it for like $5 one day.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. This is another unlikely source of fantasy goodness. It's the Battle of Florida. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks 2-point favorites in this one. Over under set of 41.5. That's okay, but there's a lot of angles that we have to break down here. I guess I'll start it off. Being the resident Tampa Bay Buccaneers advisor in the group. I think this sets up as a really good spot for Jameis Winston. He's very, very cheap here on DraftKings, I believe at 5,100. This Jaguars defense has been pretty brutal against the pass. If they are good at anything, stopping the run. I know I was just watching NFL Insiders before. They do say that they want to get Doug Martin involved, more carries, like kind of make him a 25, 30 carry kind of guy. I kind of see that as BS. Maybe they're trying to set up some play action. It is time for Mike Evans as well to get going. Earlier in the week I said I was definitely going to have some Winston and Evans in a lot of my lineups. I kind of shied away from that just because some more value emerged out on the scene that I think I feel more comfortable going with. But maybe in a millionaire maker, Jameis Winston to Mike Evans twice tonight. I could definitely see this.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to get your intake or your insight on Sims, man. What about Sims as a flex? He's got some very low price tag on him, some high payoff, for the price. I think that's a pretty decent steal. One of our guys, David Ziddick with Just a Tip, did a little piece on him for Charles Sims. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, here's the deal. I think Sims is a much better play in games where the Bucs are going to be behind because he's more of their, receiving running back. Now this is a game that should probably be, in Tampa Bay's favor. But who the hell knows? Like, I can't believe I'm saying this is a game that should be in Tampa Bay's favor. When would you ever say something like that? Well, I guess when they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. But, regardless, it's a low total in this one as well. There is some fantasy goodness at maybe the quarterback and receiving position, but it could also be a very ugly game, which would not translate well for Sims. Sims needs to get his catches out of the backfield, and I don't know. I don't think today's that day.
Well, sweet. What do you got in this game? Anything?
I hope I don't regret this. I'm taking the Tampa Bay defense in a lot of lineups because of the salary.
I looked at that, man. They're the lowest.
It could blow up in my face, but I mean, they're not going to have a bunch of better matchups than this. I do like Doug Martin, although I can't necessarily commit that I'll be putting him in any lineups other than my season-long lineup that I have. Then on the other side of the ball, we do have Julius Thomas making the season debut. Who knows what we'll get out of them, but definitely a guy that you could throw in your millionaire maker that might not be highly owned. Who knows, maybe there's a reason they paid him all that money, and I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't bank on it, but always a GPP option.
Now, I know that a lot of guys in the industry do have the Tampa Bay defense today. Price tag very low on DraftKings, 2,500, and yes, it is a good spot because as a lot of the articles say, it's that Blake Bortles struggles on the road. He has a lot of turnovers on the road.
He ain't got to go that far.
Guess what? Tampa Bay really isn't the road. Their home games are like vacation destinations for pretty much every other opposing fan base in the league. I could definitely see a lot. I can't believe I'm saying this either. I could definitely see a lot of Jacksonville fans there, making the 3-hour trip, down the highway there to Tampa.
They don't go to their own games though, Al.
Exactly. I know. That's why I said I can't believe I'm saying this, but.
Let me ask you a question, Al, and Chris. You guys, you guys have both been big on the Tampa Bay defense. Chris, you said that this might be Tampa Bay's time their moment, their week, if any. Which brings me to Allen Robinson. This guy, he can get busy when this guy wants to. He averages 5 catches a game. What do you think about this? A play or yay? No? You saw a lot of people take Robinson last week, and then, Robinson, not only did he get high ownership, he also had a lot of attention from the opposing defense, which opened it up for Hearns. So you think having Thomas back in the lineup creates some holes for Robinson to stretch the defense and get vertical?
I absolutely think so, and I don't even think it's that makes Robinson a good play today. I mean, I have Robinson in the majority of my lineups here. This just sets up as a great spot for him against the team that does give up plenty of yards against the wide receiver position. But I know that Hearns had that huge game last week, and that kind of works in Robinson's favor. It's rare that you see the wide receiver have 2 monster games back to back. I don't know whether that's film preparation. Opposing teams like to key on a guy that does that. But, again, I love Allen Robinson today, man. 5,500. If the game sets up like I think it will, Jacksonville should be coming from behind, so they should be throwing more. I got Robinson today. Look, Tampa Bay's corners aren't great at all. This is definitely a matchup where Robinson has the upper hand.
Right.
Yeah, I got a thumbs up for Robinson. He's a go today for sure.
Right on, man. That just warms my heart. Just fill my heart.
All right. That Washington Atlanta game, I know it's a good fantasy game. I don't want to touch on it too much, but
can we talk about it just for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Can we talk about this?
I just want to ask you. Let's just have an honest discussion. Let's just have an honest discussion. So, with the Julio Jones news, he is playing. Talk me into playing Julio Jones, or talk me into playing Odell Beckham over Julio Jones.
What? You're gonna put this on us? I'm gonna tell you not. I'm gonna tell you not to do it. Anybody that comes in with a hamstring issue is probable to go. He can go out at any time, especially the prize piece of their offense. They have they're undefeated. They have a great lead in their division. There's no reason to sacrifice Julio Jones for the remainder of the year if his hamstring is subpar or might even tear. I just think it's a valuable play.
So you like Hankerson in this game?
I do. I think he's a steal. But I mean, let's face it. If the minute Julio Jones goes out, Washington defense is going to, all right, now assignments are to bracket Hankerson. So we'll see.
What about Roddy White? Could we have a fantasy zombie day from him?
I'd like to see it. The Walking Dead is on, tonight for the, for the season premiere. I'd like to see
it takes
Roddy
place in
White.
Atlanta, I believe.
What's that?
I believe that takes place near Atlanta, doesn't it?
It does. It's in Georgia. So maybe you could see a really good parallel between all this zombie chatter with the emergence and the resurrection of Roddy White. I'd like to see it. I'm sure all the cocky fans would like it as well. So let's have one for the home team. They've been getting wet down there, Roddy. Why don't you come up and dry them out?
Hey, breaking news here. Eddie Royal is also inactive today. So.
Wow.
And there goes that Royale with cheese.
Marcus Wilson, man. Get him in your lineup.
Wilson, absolutely. All right. Yeah, I get, Julio. I mean, look, it's Julio Jones. I'm never gonna say don't play him. There's the option. The there's the thought that maybe Atlanta's just screwing with some people on the
Here comes the devil.
Yeah.
like it very well could, but I really do think that this sets up as a nice day for Roddy White because I really see like tremendous low ownership. Obviously everyone's going to be on Hankerson on the revenge game for Washington. He's been the one that's been killing it lately, so I would think that it would at least set up good opportunities for Roddy White.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is also Shanahan, right?
Well, yeah, but it is. Yeah, you're right, Chris. But
Coming back against DC.
Yeah.
I want to touch on what Al said. The thing is that if Jones is, I just don't see them taking a risk. Me being conservative, me being like the owner, you know what I mean, and seeing the bigger picture. I want to say, yeah, his production's there, obviously, clearly. I just don't see them taking a risk if Jones is, any way whatsoever hurt. I just don't see them taking a risk on it, man. He'll sit. I just see him. I see them sitting him. He's too valuable. He's just, for me. This is what I would do. You know what I'm saying? If I had this guy, my prized possession of my franchise, I would sit him and not risk the injury, sustaining a long-term injury. They just ran through the NFC East. You know what I mean? Pretty much. They're in arguably the weakest division besides the least. So I don't see them having to risk Julio Jones. I would definitely, I don't know, I would stay away. I'm gonna be the angel. I'm gonna be the conservative angel on Sweet's shoulder. You be the little devil, and we'll throw Sweet in a little spin. So
it does make for interesting news from a betting perspective because Atlanta is such a heavy favorite in this one, and we have seen Atlanta struggle at times and have these just absolute blow-up games at home. I believe it was last year or 2 years ago when they played Arizona. Matt Ryan had the 5 picks, but Atlanta still won the game somehow. I could see this being a letdown day for Atlanta and Washington, number 1 against the run in the NFL right now. So. I know a lot of people might be on
what the Freeman's really made of. We'll see if he's legit.
His ownership's going to be high today, and I just don't think it's a good spot to play him.
Right. No. All right.
So, no, go ahead.
I wanted to get to my favorite fan. Anything more on this game?
No, man. I want to pick. I mean, I want to pick Julio, but it's just not. It's not. It's too risky. It's not worth the money, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think I'm going to stay away from him.
To my favorite fantasy production game of the day, it is the New England Patriots at the Dallas Cowboys. Patriots coming in at 8.5-point favorites with a total today at 50.5. This is interesting. I'm just looking at my the betting chart here. 88% of the money is on the New England Patriots right now. I could see Dallas keeping this one close. I understand. New England has every reason in the book to be pissed off at Dallas in this one. Just the whole thing with the Flakegate. I know Jerry Jones was vocal and being an advocate for Brady being suspended. The comments that Greg Hardy had this week about Brady and his wife, and basically just saying F the whole world. This does set up as a good spot for New England to definitely come in and get some points here, which we'll get to in a minute. But I do think that there is some value here with the Dallas Cowboys today as well. Sweet, why don't you start off, with the Patriots, I guess.
I like all the Patriots today. My cash game lineup's going to be filled with them. Especially, I did have Matt Ryan as my top quarterback earlier in the week, but I don't know. This Julio stuff's putting a wrench in it for me. So, Tom Brady, he's the safest guy. I got a cash game lineup that's just him, Edelman, Gronk, and Lewis, and just fill the rest in pretty much. I love Dion Lewis. That's my play of the day. pretty much every week until they start making his price a little higher because he's getting you catches every week. He's the lead back no matter what anyone thinks. LeGarrette Blount is more of a situational guy. He's the guy that's going to close it out. Dion Lewis, when the game is at hand still, he's running with the ones. They just gave him a 2-year extension too. So, I know everyone hates trusting the Patriots running backs, but I think Belichick really likes this guy. So that's my lock play. Like he's in all my lineups. Dion Lewis is just sure money. He's getting catches. He's getting points. He's averaging 19.7 fantasy points on DraftKings, and he's 4,800. You got to go up like to the top 5 guys to get that kind of fantasy points per game. That's so much value.
Yeah.
All right, well, you did it to me, Sweet, so I'm going to do it to you. Talk me through either Blount or Lewis because I've struggled with this all week. I think Blunt's going to get touches down there in the red zone. Like you said, more situational. I think first and goal in situations like that, second and goal, it's definitely Blunt's ball going into the end zone.
Well, I mean, if you want to play it safe, go with Lewis, and if you want to hope for the 3 touchdowns again, go with Blount. So I guess my best advice in cash games, take Lewis, and in GPPs, maybe Blount will be a little less owned. But just put Lewis in your lineup. That's what I would say.
All right, there you have it right there, man.
Both you guys are right. New England all over the board. I can't make a bad case for any person on their offense. They're going to score an absolute ton of points today. I do want to talk about Dallas, though, because I think Jason Witten is going to be very low owned, but have an enormous amount of targets today with Dallas coming from behind. 4,500 on DraftKings. He's a guy I'm definitely going to have as my flex in a lot of lineups, and that's only because I like Gronk so much at tight end today. Not as opposed to every week. I mean, I like having Gronk in there as much as I possibly can. We've already seen we can get Gronk in there with guys like Snead and another guy we didn't even mention on Washington, Crowder, the rookie from Duke. He's a pretty good play there. I like him to get his targets have been going up more and more each week. But yeah, here for Dallas, I think Jason Witten's a guy. And Terrence Williams is a guy, too, I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on. 4,300. Again, Dallas is going to be throwing a lot in this one. So,
Butler, I'm not sold on Butler. I don't think he's a lockdown, shutdown defensive back, man. I don't think he can cut. I think Williams can smoke Butler.
Right. Also, don't be surprised, maybe a little Matt Castle in this one. I know, a couple reports out there say, Dallas isn't too happy with the way Whedon's been throwing the ball. If New England gets up big in this one, I am not saying put Matt Castle in your line. I am not saying that at all. Right. I'm just saying that, I think he's a better thrower than Whedon, so, that can make for some more targets for guys like Witten and Terrence Williams as well.
Joseph Randle,
No way.
New England plays the run pretty well. I mean,
Cole Beasley's not even bad in this one either. 3,100. Definitely. If we're passing all day, I'll load him up, right?
Yeah, I think Cole Beasley.
Go ahead, Chris.
Cole Beasley, I think, could take advantage of Lance Dunbar being out. He could, even though he's a receiver, not a running back, he could get a lot of the lower, shorter routes.
Right. I mean, great point. Most of Cole Beasley's production is a 3-yard slant catch.
Right.
Turned after with Yak.
They're going to still want to keep that in their offense, I think.
All right, hit that one up pretty good. Denver at Oakland, a lot of goodness here again. Denver now a 4-point favorite. Now the game's in Oakland. The over/under here 44. I said this earlier in the week. This is a trick line where they're trying to get you to bet Oakland here. I'm not buying it. I think Denver's going to have an amazing day. And we have to start it out with Wags because he's in love with someone.
Yeah, we have to.
Guys, man, everybody's been trying to call me off of this Peyton Manning play. I can't come off of it. Yes, I love Brady. I think when Brady plays pissed, Brady, he's ruthless. He's going to come out and he's got that killer instinct. He's gonna make Jerry Jones hurt. He's gonna want to put up some points. And I frankly, I think Kraft's the same way. I think it's going to be a little battle of empires between Kraft and Jones. But you gotta think of Peyton Manning's matchup today, going up against the Oakland Raiders. They allow 310 yards through the air alone. All right, alone, man. And that was against the Browns. That was against, it's been against, I believe, the Chargers as well. You got to take in consideration what Manning can still do. Yeah, the zip on the ball might not still be there, or where it needs to be yet, but I just think the receivers Thomas and Sanders are going to have a field day against this Raiders defense, and also Owen Daniels, sneaky play this week. We all know that the Raiders have a terrible time at covering the tight end. That has been exploited against the Cleveland Browns. Barnidge just went off against them. Decent play, runs great routes, good hands, but he's still, still learning the game and whatnot. He's been in the league a few years. What do you think Peyton Manning's going to do to this team? Compared to what the rest of the subpar NFL quarterbacks, if I'll say that, if what they've done to him, I just think Peyton Manning's going to have a field day. I look to Peyton Manning. The Oakland Raiders giving up 310 yards on average. I look for Peyton Manning to exploit that even more. 350 yards, 3 touchdowns for Peyton Manning.
I like it. I mean, listen, there are some better values out there at the quarterback position, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just, we got to fit some salary in this week, especially if we're getting Jamal Charles and Le'Veon Bell in the same lineup.
That's my point. I don't have both of those guys in my lineup.
Right. But no, yeah, I completely understand what you're saying with Peyton Manning. Division game might be a little closer than anticipated, but yeah, again, if we're just talking about sheer matchups here, then yeah, Peyton Manning should definitely blow the Oakland Raiders' holes out today, and should do it. If we're talking about Peyton Manning, then I guess we're talking about Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Both of these guys would definitely be great plays just based on a PPR perspective. And, I know you talked about Owen Daniels, and I think his ownership today is going to be tremendously high. I think, a lot of people know, and especially if you're playing on DraftKings, it gives you the rank up there. Right. So, that's kind of that's a very helpful tool for a lot of people. So, I think just based on that Daniels would be higher owned than most. Now, if we're going at the late slate, we're just talking about only like 4 o'clock games, or we're only talking about like the 4 o'clock on. Then I think I gotta go with that Gronkowski-Witten combo. I think that'd be pretty good to have.
That's a good call there.
Man, Gronk's just so pricey, man.
All right, let's talk about the opposite side of the ball. Sweet. Anybody for the Raiders?
I'd actually like to talk about someone from the Broncos, if that's okay with you guys.
That's okay.
So you can't.
I don't know about. I haven't really thought too much about taking any Raiders in this game, to be honest with you. Denver's defense is just so freaking good. But the one guy that I think you could see and might be a good guy to get in your sneaky GPP lineups is Ronnie Hillman, because I think we're going to soon see that he's going to become the lead back there. I think John Fox has already I think Kubiak's already kind of started to intimate that he's going to get Hillman a little more touches. It's going to be more flow of the game. And C.J. Anderson, he could be the biggest bust in fantasy football this year. I'm not sure if it's his fault. I'm not sure if it's the coaching change, but I think Kubiak's starting to really like Hillman and the one-cut system. And Kubiak, he's fashioned so many guys into great fantasy running backs, and I think before long we're going to see Ronnie Hillman in that conversation.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Hillman definitely got that breakaway speed that you look for, especially against this Raiders team. Defense, it could be there some weeks, but, for the most part, they suck. Now, I really like Denver's defense in this one as a good play. They are a little expensive here on DraftKings. $3,600. I think that, like the Chiefs are probably a better value play going up against Cutler, but, make no mistake about it, this Denver defense puts up numbers each week, and, I think this could be a good one against a young quarterback.
I don't know. You got no arguments for me here.
They're the best They're the best fantasy defense right now until otherwise.
All right.
I agree. Until proven further, they're the best.
All right. The only other game that I want to get to in terms of breaking down both sides would be Pittsburgh at San Diego for the Monday night game. Here we have, what do we have here? San Diego 4-point favorites that kind of rose up from earlier in the week. Over under here at 45.5. The Pittsburgh Michael Vick's coming in this week. Not as big a fan of Mike Vick in fantasy as I once was, for obvious reasons, age and just getting dumber as the years have gone on. That opens up a huge night for Le'Veon Bell, 8,500 on DraftKings. San Diego has an amazingly awful run defense. I think their defense in general sucks, so we can definitely see a lot of points here on Monday night. But Le'Veon Bell's the guy that I'm using way more than I probably should, meaning that he'll be in every single one of my lineups this week.
He's consensus, I believe. He's in everybody's lineup. You got to play him. The guy's a stud. I don't know how else to say it. I got a man crush because he's in everything that I have. If you took the guy as your second pick overall in long drafts, or you spend the money in daily fantasy sports, well, NFL week by week rather. Le'Veon Bell just in 2 games, 23 points, man. He's already worth the sacrifice. He's already worth the suspension. So he's getting 23 points each game. He's going up against the San Diego defense that you've mentioned allows 126 yards rushing per game. 2 games, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns. Why is he not in your lineup?
Yeah. And, we talked a lot about, this being, since there's so much value at wide receiver this week, this is a tremendous opportunity where you can get Le'Veon Bell and Jamal Charles in the same lineup. That is sexy time at its finest, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, Antonio Brown, he definitely takes a huge hit in production with Roethlisberger being out. Anybody have Antonio in any lineups?
This season long that I have to start him in.
Right, yeah, well, obviously.
He's too expensive, man.
Yeah.
For the way people I think are going to go. And, I mean, you mentioned it. It's Mike Vick. It's not the Mike Vick that we've seen in the past. Yeah, I was wowed. I'll admit I was wowed when I saw him, scramble and then deliver that 15-yard strike to Hayward Bay. I was just that wasn't even for the touchdown. This was just a random play, a regular play in in regular time in the first quarter. I was just shocked. I was like, wow, man, he still got a cannon, but then just he did some Mike Vick things and reminded me that why he's not starting over Ben Roethlisberger.
Couldn't pick up a yard on 4th down. Couldn't take a 2-yard pass on 4th down.
Oh, Michael, what happened to you?
Michael, you used to be. Oh, man.
All right,
also, Martavis Bryant not coming back this game either. Recently announced this morning, I believe.
All right. On the San Diego side of things, we definitely got some plays to talk about here. I love Phillip Rivers here, 6,200 on DraftKings. Chargers are favoring this one. Nice total on it. I really like Rivers. Let's talk about some of his targets. Sweet, you are the San Diego Chargers resident advisor here, so who are we rolling with this week?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm the fan, so I'm usually pretty pessimistic on the Chargers. I don't know if they'll win this week. I do definitely like their offense in this game. The thing about their defense is their offense is going to have to keep at it all year probably. So I love Rivers in this game. He's significantly lower priced than the top guys. He's the lead. He's a leader in passing yards in the NFL right now with over 1,200. We mentioned Stevie Johnson's out, so Keenan Allen, he's really emerged this year, and the only thing about him is he could have 11 catches one game and 3 catches the next game. The good thing is he didn't have that many catches last week, so this could be a heavy workload for him. We also have the returning tight end Antonio Gates. he just had a 4-week vacation, so he was just getting well for the season, And he's definitely a guy who you want to pair up with Phillip Rivers because I know Phillip Rivers is just waiting to throw him the ball. Those guys are, they're like Manning and Harrison back in the day.
Yeah, they got guys. The man crush going on, man.
They are broing out every day. They have such good chemistry, and I'm going to mention him again just because Stevie's out, and I guess we'll have to see what goes on with Malcolm Floyd. But Dontrell Inman, that's a guy that is minimum price $3,000 on DK. He started seeing a lot of catches in the last game when it was literally him and Keenan Allen were the only receivers. But yeah, the receiving corps, you definitely want to get a piece of that. You want to get a piece of Phillip Rivers. You want to get a piece of his targets. And I mean, one of these weeks, Melvin Gordon is going to do something. So I don't know.
Not in the red zone, man.
Not in the red zone. Danny Woodhead, man. Danny Woodhead's
going to have to do 20 yards out. That's for sure. It's going to
be. He's going to eventually. He's going to hit one from out eventually. I mean, he has the most 20-yard runs in the NFL right now, Melvin Gordon.
Correct, but I mean, it's sad too. I guess they got to keep Woodhead happy somehow. So.
I don't think it's keeping Woodhead happy. I think the offense just looks better with Woodhead in there, and I think Phillip Rivers loves Woodhead.
Yeah, he's a hard runner, man.
That's another guy, Woodhead. He's like Deion Lewis light to me. You're gonna get points from him every week if you put him in your lineup. You're not gonna get like a 3 or a 5. You're probably gonna get double digits from Danny Woodhead for his price.
Yeah. I mean, I love Keenan Allen this week. Pairing him up with Rivers, I think that'd be a tremendous point value for your lineup. I think you could definitely see some money if you have those two in there. All right.
I can't argue. I mean, Keenan Allen's definitely he's the number one guy, the number one wideout for for Rivers.
He's not super expensive either.
Yeah, he's not that. Yeah, exactly. He's not priced that high. I'm big on Melvin Gordon. I'm a huge Melvin Gordon fan. I would love to. That's why. I mean, I'm sure you could sense the disappointment when we started talking about him. I want to see this guy get into the end zone, man. I think he's a great player. I just think he needs more. He needs to have more of a role. Needs to have more touches.
Al. Yeah, I think on the Wednesday show you mentioned that you get a lot of people asking you what's the matter with the Bucks. Something like that. People blame you for the Bucks. I've gotten more questions this year on a week-by-week basis about when are they going to give Melvin Gordon all the carries, and I got an answer for everybody. Never. He's never getting all the carries. I'm sorry. This offense doesn't run like that. Unfortunately, I watched him do the same thing with Ryan Matthews for however many years he was there. They got a way they do things, and it's not going to be a bell cow role for Melvin Gordon, unfortunately.
All right, let's close it out with the yay and nay segment. A couple guys that we didn't mention from the games that we get to that still have some fantasy relevance in this one.
Heroes and zeros. Woo!
Let's start it out from Buffalo. Our boy Tyrod Taylor has been killing it lately. Low total here in Tennessee. Sammy Watkins is out. Issues to the run game. Tennessee a closer game than I think most people anticipate here in Tennessee today. So, Tyrod Taylor, yay or nay?
Nay.
I'll say yay. I think he's going to use his legs today.
Yeah, 5,800 as your quarterback. Okay, so. Another guy, Justin Forsett, going up against a very weak Cleveland Browns defense. Yay or nay for Forsett?
Yay!
Yeah, it's tough to predict what's going to happen here today, but Forsett hasn't had that breakout game yet. I think he busts a couple runs here today.
Browns giving up 141 yards on the ground. The Browns. You saw a little bit of an insurgence in that offensive line, man. I look for them hog mollies up front to get some production going for fourth in the bet. It's going to happen.
All right. Larry Fitzgerald going up against Detroit. Detroit has allowed 26 most fantasy points on DraftKings to wide receivers. So, Fitzgerald, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay.
All right. A lot of yays going here. He cost you 6,800 on DraftKings. I also think this is going to be a tougher game than most anticipate. Detroit hasn't won yet, so look for them to come all out against this very, very prolific Arizona team. And then I guess the last one we got to talk about two names here we got to talk about. I guess we could do it as a combo, but Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr. going up against the Niners today. You got San Francisco coming across the country, a team that basically has said, see ya with their season. So, the Odell Beckham Eli combo today, yay or nay?
Yay! Pick it with the heart, the head, and the gut. Yay!
Yeah, I've got to say yay. Too many yays, but
I know.
if Julio's out, I'm starting Odell a lot of places.
Yeah. Now, again, Odell going to cost you that pretty penny at $9,000. Eli not too expensive. I think Eli might be the better play here, but yeah, I looked for Odell to get busy last week against Buffalo, so that's why I'm a little hesitant about
being a residential Giants fan here.
Right.
Ruben Randall is starting to come on. I have not been a fan of this guy, but now he's actually starting to catch the ball with his hands and not with his forearms. So, I mean, I just think that the guy's actually going to emerge and be something solidified as the number 1-2, or I'm sorry, as the wide receiver 2 until Victor Cruz gets back from salsa dancing.
Yeah, Ruben Randall, he was that sleeper for a couple of years where I think he got in his bed, he made it a little too tight, didn't want to get out of it. But right. I agree, he's starting to look like he's a real player this year.
Got some good height, he's got some decent hands when he catches it, or when he decides to put him in front of him instead of behind him, or catch with his forearm. So we'll see.
All right, well, good luck to everybody. Good luck to everybody setting their lineups today. Any closing words from either of you about the slate today?
Nah, man, it's just I can't wait. I really think I have a dynamite DraftKings lineup. My FanDuel lineups, I think, are going to hit pretty high. I can't wait. I'm excited. Super excited. Super excited. Hey, of course, always, before we leave, we do have to talk about the DFS Players Conference. It's coming up. Right. Seats are filling up fast. November 12th to the 14th. Get there. It's up in Al's neck of the woods. Yep. Times Square, Grand Marquis Marriott. Be there, baby.
I think, lately, well, I guess the whole point of that conference was supposed to be, networking and, I guess talking about different strategies to move forward with. But I think it's going to have a new change of direction here with everything that's developed in the last week. So it should be fun.
I think it's going to be carnage, as people like to say in the WWF. I know Sweet's a fan of the WWF. Or wait, what is it now? WWE?
WWE, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think the questions at that conference are going to be a lot different than they would have been a few weeks ago. I don't think they're going to be as much about game theory and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a lot more.
I know we're going to have some good ones.
Sweet. Any closing words?
Let's see. Yeah. Well, first I'd like to congratulate the newlyweds last night wedding I went to. The Wagner Wire was talked about a lot at the wedding. I got a lot of questions, a lot of good buzz. I'd like to congratulate Bill Pulling and his wife Jennifer. And I'm looking forward to it all today. I'm a little bummed about the Julio stuff. He was a big part of my lineup. So now I almost feel like with him not in my lineups, I'm hoping that he either leaves the game early or just doesn't play. Because if he blows up, I'm going to be pulling all my hair out today. So.
All right.
And go to WagnerWire.com, please.
Well, I got a couple of different lineups going today, so I got to get to those and make those up here in the last hour. But again, good luck to everybody this week, and we will see you Wednesday night for the Week 6 NFL show.
Right.
All right.
Good luck.
All right. See you next week. Peace.